Hey, what's up guys? Brian Blaze here, back with another collection update. Hope you've been all doing well. I've been doing good myself. Hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. I enjoyed mine. Just ate some food, spent time with family, and just enjoyed the day. So, yeah. Today I have a metal collection update, mostly tapes and some CDs. I don't know if I'll have any vinyl in this one. I haven't been buying vinyl lately, so yeah, let's just get right into it. Right now we're listening to Bergreisen, a black metal band out of the Ukraine, and this is their album from last year, I believe, called Der Unsterbliche Geist, and this is really good black metal from Ukraine. And this is brought to you by Purity Through Fire. They have really good riffs on here and really good howling vocals. And this is one of my favorite albums brought out by Purity Through Fire as of late. Bergreisen. Der Unsterbliche Geist. Alright, now to get into the tapes. First tape I'm going to show is Bartek with Demo 2. This is from this year, and this is their second demo. And Bartek are a raw and mystical black metal with these cool synths in the background. They are from out of the US, and Bartek was an ancient Irish warlord thought to have dark magical powers and was cruel to the townsfolk. So they hired another king to deal with the problem. But Bartek returned from the grave demanding a blood tribute from his people. This led to Bartek being slain many times, each time rising again from the dead to seek blood from the living. He could only be killed with a sword made of yew wood, which is reminiscent of the wooden stake through the heart, and could very well be where the Bram Stoker got inspiration for Dracula, since Stoker did study in Iceland for a while. So there's some fun facts about where this band got their name, Bartek, and this is Demo 2. And I do want to show you the J card on this. Tapes just has a plain sticker on it, but the J card has some really cool artwork on it. It looks like it is all pencil drawn artwork, and it's just really cool detailed artwork. See if I can get in there for you. So that's some really cool artwork, and I recommend it. Alright, next up is Void. And Void are from Germany, and this is their 2019 demo compilation, which has demo 4, 5, 6, and 7. I got this from Forbidden Sonority, which is the guy behind the band Icon of Curse, raw black metal project, I believe. And this is raw astral black ambient noise. Basically, if Dark Space was a raw black metal band, you get Void, but unique unto itself, staticky, cosmic raw black metal with howled vocals and noisy and ambient sections. Excellent stuff that I highly recommend this one if you can find it and get it. Enshrouded in mist, deeply rooted in mysticism. Just a blank white and black tape. Which is fitting because this is white and black artwork. There's J card. Lloyd. track listings. The Key, like Black Silas. What's up with the keys? The key to unlock the mysteries of the universe, I guess, is what they're going for with these bands. Alright. Boyd with demos 4, 5, 6, and 7. Get that one if you can, find it. Alright, the next album I have is Lore with Gateways Between the Scales of Destitution and Ascension. And Lore is an anagram for Litany of Ruinous Entities, and they're a band out of Florida. This is from 2018 album, and you can get this from Red River Family Fest Big Cartel. That's where I got my copy. And just a blank tape with some semi-translucent frosty icy blue tint on it. It's pretty cool. Pretty simple, very simple J card with just the artwork, the track listings, and the band members and the logo. But this also came with a lyric sheet separately, and I'll show you that. It came with this lyric sheet with all the lyrics on it, and Ouroboros snake, lore symbol in the middle. Really cool lyric sheet, nothing on the other side, and I think that's a pretty neat addition to the tape. They also gave me this bag of goodies, which has like stones in it, flower petals, a feather, a little bone, a animal tooth, and a bullet casing. So thought that was cool. I always like ordering from Red River Family Fest. They always give you something weird stuff with it. Put that on my music altar for sure. Keep that. Alright, next up I have Glistening with Fragments, and I really like that artwork. It's like a broken haunted doll, but they came with this leaf, I'm guessing out of Canada, because that's where these guys are from and where I ordered this tape from. It's the blank tape scratched out. They recorded over. And what Glistening are is they are a raw, almost depressive black metal with post-metal and post-punk elements. Slow-paced raw black metal with some howls every now and then, with post-punky guitar chords. Really cool stuff. The song tracks kind of tell you what kind of band it is, with the post-punk and the post-metal elements. They have Wrapped in Delicate Nature, Departure Part 2, Flowing Rivers, Noxious Perfumes, Fragments, No More Tomorrows, and To a Moon So Far Away. It's really cool, raw black metal with post-punk elements out of Canada. Highly recommend that if you're into that kind of stuff. If you like the Dreams of the Drowned album from earlier this year, you might like that Glistening album. Alright, next up we have some death metal, actually, finally, for my channel. Probably the first death metal album I've showed, well, one of them at least, and that's the 2019 album from this year from the Finnish death metal band Crips with Cadaver Circulation. And I don't listen to much death metal anymore unless it has to be really good and it resonates with me. And this is one of those albums, one of the only death metal albums from this year that I liked. It's dirty, old school death metal with these dirgy, doomy sections in it. So it's not just death metal, it's like doom death. Those doomy, dirgy sections definitely give the album more atmosphere, but also goes into fast, brutal parts, but always having these funereal guitar melodies, guttural vocals that sound really good. One of the only death metal albums I like this year. Here's the J card. The artwork on the inside is pretty cool. The artwork on the cover is not my favorite. Not the best Crypts artwork or artwork in general, but the album is really good. So check out Crypts with Cadaver Circulation. If you're into Death Doom, like old school Death Doom. Alright, next tape I have is, I'm going to throw it in there because I've been listening to a lot of them lately, and that is Typo Negative with World Coming Down, one of my favorite Typo Negative albums, along with October Rust and Life is Killing Me. Those are probably my three favorite Typo albums. This one's really good. Typo Negative, World Coming Down. This is by Roadrunner Records. Hammer Music made the tape. J card. Rest in peace, Pete Steele. One of my favorite frontmen. I know some people think it's cliche to like Typo, but I've always liked Typo for a long time, and I kind of relate to Pete Steele because he listens to extreme metal and he listens to like post-punk and gothic rock like Sisters of Mercy and stuff like that, so I really relate to him, and that's probably why I like his music so much. Two of my favorite tracks on here is Creepy Green Light and also All Hallows Eve. Those are two of my favorite tracks on this album, and the other tracks are just really good too, but those are probably my two favorite on this. Check out Typo Negative, World Coming Down. Alright, and my last tape I'm going to show is this Winds of Egotism, brought to you by Death's Radiance. And this was in the Perverse Homage web store before it sold out super quick. As always, plain black tape. I ended up finding it somewhere and buying it because I heard it on YouTube. It sounded really good, so I found it and I bought it. Cool purple color. The cover looks like a mannequin head standing on a bunch of boxes, but I'm not sure. The music is raw black metal, and it sounds like a maelstrom of riffs are swirling around you in a tornado, and it's very labyrinthine and very swirling, but the music itself is really good if you can get past the rawness of it. The thing I like about raw black metal is it makes your mind work a little bit. Instead of just laying it all out there in perfect production, it kind of makes you try to find the melodies within the rawness and within the noise, and it kind of makes your mind work a little bit more. And that's what I like about raw black metal. A lot of people don't like raw black metal, but I don't like every raw black metal band. It just depends on their songwriting and their atmosphere that they create. So yeah, that's why I like raw black metal, and this is a really good band in that genre. Winds of Egotism from Death's Radiance. And alright, let's get into the CDs now. The first CD is Borgny with Infinity from 2018. These guys are from Switzerland. Borgny in French means one-eyed, and all of their lyrics are in French as well. This is their album called Infinity from last year, I believe. I don't know if I said that, but this is a one-man project by Borny Hake, and that's him over here, and he got Lady Chaos from the band Asagrom to do keys for this album, so that's really cool. And I don't know if they did this on purpose, but the name of the album is Infinity, and there is 8 tracks on the album. So you know how black metal vocalists are, very deep with everything they do, so I don't know if that was on purpose. But what Borgny are, they are an industrial black metal band, and they're similar to Dark Space. They have spacey industrial sounds every now and then, but it doesn't take away from the music, it adds to it, and the black metal music itself is just really, really good. They had an album called Rang des Morts from a year or two back that was really good too, and this is just no different. It's another excellent album in their discography, and definitely check out Borgny if you haven't yet. Alright. Next up is Hooded Menace with Ossuarium Silhouettes Unhollowed. This is from 2018, last year, and these guys are out of Finland. When this album first came out, I thought it was going to be a typical Hooded Menace album. I was expecting good, but what I got was excellent death doom. There is a lot of old school death metal influences in their sound on this album, like early Suffocation and Morbid Angel, but with these crushing and ethereal sustained doom riffs intertwined with exceptional old school death metal melodies. The new vocalist, Hari Kokkonen, is a lot better, I think, and it definitely was an element that elevated the evolution of their sound, along with better and more mature songwriting, creating this modern death doom masterpiece, in my opinion. Each track is just very good and just is a vital part to the album as a whole. And for some reason, only the CD version has the Celtic Frost cover of Sorrows of the Moon. I don't know why it's only on the CD version, but I had the tape version and it didn't have it, so I bought the CD. And I believe that Sorrows of the Moon track is a perfect ending to this album. They utilize clean singing as well, like on the Celtic Frost song, and it's a very good death doom album with influences from Suffocation and Morbid Angel, with just awesome vocals, and I couldn't recommend this enough if you're into doomy death metal or death doom. Hooded Menace, Ossuarium Silhouettes Unhollowed. Alright, next CD is a NonMetal album, which I always throw into all my updates, because I listen to more than just metal. I listen to metal, post-punk, gothic rock, just all kinds of stuff, so I don't like to put myself in a box when it comes to music. I just like listening to whatever I like and resonates with me. And this next CD is Guillotine Dream with A War on the Passage of Time. And these guys are out of USA. This came out last year in 2018 by Gothic Music Records. And Guillotine Dream are a dark Gothic rock act that kind of reminds me of Rope Sect or Fearing, which are two of my favorite Gothic rock / post-punk acts. They have shimmering guitar chords with drab monotone vocals with dark poetic lyrics, and they released an EP earlier this year called Something Shining, Something Bright. Really good, dark Gothic rock / post-punk. Guillotine Dream with a war on the passage of time. Alright, next up I have Natar Vet by the band Wormwood. And these guys are out of Stockholm, Sweden. This album came out this year. And this is folky black metal. They had an album from 2017 called Ghostlands, Wounds from a Bleeding Earth that I thought was okay. But this latest effort, I feel tracks are more mature in their songwriting and with longer song lengths and less erratic songwriting. The only downside is I can't really put my finger on a certain track. The songs kind of blend into each other, but the music itself is legit, really good black metal with folky sections. If you're into that, check out Wormwood with Natar Vet. And they came with a cool little patch that was inside of the CD when that arrived. I thought it was a pretty cool free addition to that CD. Alright, next up I have Epitaph with I, and this is atmospheric, doomy death metal with a very phantasmal and funereal atmosphere, familiar to bands like Shroud of the Heretic, Abyssal, and Dead Congregation. Even some black metal atmosphere similar to what the Ruins of Beverast would do. It is very psychedelic as well, which I'm into psychedelic stuff, and that made it become my favorite death metal album of this year. It's not talked about by very many people in the death metal community that I have seen, but it's definitely my favorite death metal of this year. A lot of people are into the Blood Incantation, and I can't really think of any other death metal albums from this year, but this one's my favorite. Epitaph with I. Psychedelic, funereal, doomy death metal out of France, I believe these guys are from. And I definitely recommend checking this album out if you're into, like, I would consider this like a psychedelic, atmospheric, morbid angel, an avant-garde, atmospheric, morbid angel. That's how I would label them, but if that piques your interest, check out Epitaph with I. Alright, next up is In Solitude with Sister. And this is different than everything else that In Solitude has ever done. This is their last album from 2013. And they had one from 2012 or before that called The World of Flesh the Devil, which was very popular. And that was more like occult, hard rock, with like multiple Merciful Fate influences, with like new wave of British heavy metal influences. This one kind of drops the new wave of heavy metal influences. It's still occult hard rock sounding, but they added a lot more of a gothy element, like Sisters of Mercy. And at first, when I first heard the album, I didn't like it because it wasn't like The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. I was like, this isn't very hard. It doesn't have much punch to it, like that album did. But over time, this definitely grew on me and became my favorite In Solitude album, because I started to like post-punk and gothic rock a lot more later on, and so this album I started to see the light in this album and became my favorite album by In Solitude. And if there was a band that I wish would get back together and make an album and tour, it would be In Solitude. There's a story behind that as well. I went to see them on the Decibel tour one year with Cannibal Corpse, Behemoth, freaking The Devil's Blood, and Watain. And my buddy that was taking me was tired, and he didn't want to go early. So by the time we got there, In Solitude had already played, and I missed In Solitude, and they broke up shortly after. So I kind of have that regret of not seeing them, and I really wish that they'd get back together and write another album and go touring again so I could see them. But we still have The World, the Flesh, the Devil. We still have Sister, and they have a couple other albums from before that that are really good too. But Sister's my favorite by In Solitude. Alright. I think the last CD I'm going to show is a NonMetal album. And this is probably one of my favorite NonMetal albums of all time. This is Soror Dolorosa. S-O-R-O-R-D-O-L-O-R-O-S-A. Soror Dolorosa with Apollo. And this is their most recent album called Apollo. And this is gothic rock slash post-punk, but it's definitely not like simple gothic rock or post-punk. It's a lot more, the songwriting is a lot more complicated and a lot more in-depth and a lot more emotive. And this album is called Apollo, and this is probably my favorite Soror Dolorosa album. But every single one of their albums are awesome gothic rock, and they're probably my favorite gothic rock band right now is Soror Dolorosa. Got to show you the book just because it's really cool artwork in here. And definitely check out Apollo by Soror Dolorosa, or any album by Soror Dolorosa if you're into emotive and just complicated post-punk gothic rock. Really good album. It's one of my favorites. Soror Dolorosa with Apollo. And yeah, that's going to be my album collection for today. I've got a lot of tapes that I didn't show in this, that I didn't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to show those in my next video. I'm going to show some vinyl in my next video for all you vinyl collectors out there. Finally get some vinyl. And yeah, thank you guys for subscribing, for liking, and for watching my videos. I appreciate it very much. I have an idea for a different kind of video coming up, a comic book collection update, and then I have more music collection updates planned and horror movie collection updates planned as well. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Take care.